Alright, you're watching Monoxide's channel, but special guest, Crazymike1706. If the camera angle's off, too fucking bad. We've tried everything. It will not fucking work, so fuck off.
Yes, we actually have the camera stacked on. Why don't you tell them what we have it stacked on, man?
A bunch of DVDs. A bunch of DVDs and it's still not fucking working.
How ghetto is that? What is it? 1:21 a.m. right now?
No, 2:22 a.m. because this time's off. I don't know why.
Wow, oh my goodness. Well, we had some obstacles trying to get this video started, actually. Before we get to the whole camera angle thing, how about Monoxide? You tell them what happened. It starts with the ignorant guy back here, Mr. Andy Baccoon, or Baccoon, what the hell his last name is, who cares?
Yeah.
But anyway, he's Rude Boy on YouTube and whatnot, a very good friend of ours, but this guy didn't know how to pay attention to directions and got us lost in the middle of nowhere. And it took us a while to find this guy over here. And I'm extremely tired. I've been up for almost 2 days now, and I had a workout session, so I just want to pass out right now. But I took a Red Bull, and hopefully it'll work, so we'll see. And what happened after that, Monoxide? If things couldn't get any worse.
Alright, since I take full responsibility, we're on our way here. We had already went to 7-Eleven. We got 2 liters of Pepsi, 2 Red Bulls, 1 for me, and the other was supposed to be for me, but it's to wake this guy up right here. And a bag of chips and whatever this fucker got. On the way back, I realized I didn't have my keys. We were locked out. I woke my grandparents up, and my grandmother is none too happy with me.
And to wake them up, we had to call them, ring the doorbell, and knock on the door all at the same time. And we still spend more than half an hour outside. Mono, you want to look through the questions, mate? And by the way, I know this looks kind of awkward, but guys, I am extremely, extremely tired right now. So that's why I'm kind of like this in this weird angle. I'm always sexier in my vids, you know what I mean? Because I got the better quality and whatnot, you know what I mean? But
yeah, because you're richer than me.
You can't blame what's the last name?
I'm not gonna fucking say it for you people. You guess it. Anyhow, let's get on with these freaking questions. We're not gonna answer them all, but we'll answer most of them.
We'll answer most of them. We'll just make this in parts anyway.
All right.
Since we're here.
Exactly. Kieran. I don't know how to say it. Kieran Poland.
You can skip the name. Just say the question. Well, I mean, it's your vid, your style. So
I prefer to say the name because you took the time to enter the question. So I feel it's a thank you. Do you think Dolph Ziggler is overrated? And I know it's kind of cheating here, but what's your favorite pay-per-view of all time? Do I think Dolph Ziggler is overrated? Well, for someone to be overrated, it would have to be a wrestler who many amongst the IWC put on a high pedestal who you feel shouldn't be on that pedestal, like Bret Hart. He's on a high pedestal that he doesn't really deserve, but he still kind of deserves, if you know where I'm coming from. So Dolph Ziggler is not being put on this high pedestal. I think he's underrated, in fact.
Yeah, he's definitely not overrated. I mean, look what happened to him at the Royal Rumble. I don't... And plus, like he mentioned, I was about to give almost the same answer. He's not really praised as much to really be called overrated. Favorite pay-per-view of all time? There's a lot of pay-per-views that I really, really did enjoy. But I don't think I have one favorite pay-per-view. I mean, there's so many that I really liked. There's a lot of shows in general that I really liked. So,
if I had to name a pay-per-view, one pay-per-view that comes to mind, and it was just a recent one, WrestleMania 24.
WrestleMania 24?
Oh, that was great. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite show of all time, but it's up there. I love WrestleMania 24. I would say, if there's a candidate, WrestleMania 19. Okay. That's the candidate. Okay. Abstract for Life 13. What's your favorite finishing move of all time?
My favorite finishing move? Wow. There are a lot of amazing finishers out there, but if I would have to go with one, it would be either the Diamond Cutter or the Super Kick. And I'm going to say why right now. Because it could just come out of anywhere. And Shawn Michaels is my favorite North American wrestler of all time. And I think he's definitely, arguably, the greatest out there. Definitely, no problem. And he adds so much drama, so much emotion in his matches that when he pulls off that simple super kick, you just mark out, you know what I mean? You'll mark out 50 times more than somebody going through a table filled with thumbtacks and fire and whatnot. And I always really did like the Diamond Cutter a lot. But again, I've seen a lot of high-risk, dangerous moves out there. But still, those two moves are definitely, you know, one of my favorites.
This is easy for me. The F5. The way Brock Lesnar would execute the F5 looked like he killed somebody. Go look at some that he did on Spike Dudley. The one he did on Mark Henry, he looked like he killed the fucker. So, enough said on that. Okay. FB 1018. What is your all-time dream match?
Shawn Michaels and Bryan Danielson. Definitely. Definitely.
I was saying this to Mike and Andy over here. Mine, that I'm hoping that happens at Mania, that puts over a talent that we all like, Shawn Michaels, John Morrison. And there's another match that I've been hyping for as well at WrestleMania. And I think people will agree. Undertaker, Chris Jericho.
Definitely.
Definitely. So there you go. Okay, let's see here. Here's a good one. Playboy 182. I think that's it. Who do you think should retire Shawn Michaels, and who should end the Undertaker streak if they ever let it happen?
No one should end the Undertaker streak, period.
And who do you think should retire Shawn Michaels?
Wow. We've been talking about Shawn Michaels a lot in this video. Wow, that's 3 questions in a row that his name has come up.
Well, it's Shawn Michaels.
The irony, yeah, the irony.
It's Shawn
isn't
Michaels.
it? How do I answer that? If somebody were to retire him, they better be the greatest name ever after him, you know what I mean? It's really hard to say. I mean, it's a good question, but it's really hard to say.
It should be one of his students. It should be.
Nah, I don't know.
The reason why I say that...
It has to be somebody that is known for a fact this guy is going to be the biggest, you know. I mean, of course, they could get almost anybody, or if not, they can get a recent star, you know. I mean, look how Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair, and the match was still great. But that's a tricky one. That question has to be more like a 2-part one, you know, because there has to be that question has to be examined a little bit more. When you say retire him, do you mean in the sense of an up-and-comer, of someone that's currently wrestling, or do you mean in general? You know, there has to be more details to that question.
If I were to say anybody, like I was saying, the reason why I would say one of his students is because, think about it, student versus teacher. Who can outclass one another? And then the student outdoes the teacher. Like Brian Kendrick, if they were booking him right, which they aren't. Even though he didn't wrestle for Shawn Michaels, as far as I know, like I just said earlier, John Morrison. I mean, people are like hyping for John Morrison to face Shawn Michaels.
And plus, it's a dream match that you wanted to see, so.
Exactly. I'd love to see John Morrison versus Shawn Michaels. I think that would be perfect. But as far as retiring The Undertaker, I mean, in hindsight, I think WWE is planning for him to just go out with the streak. If it had to be anybody, I've always said this, and I'm going to say it again. It has to be a star that they know they're going to progress and they're going to build that needs that win. They don't need Triple H or Shawn Michaels to end the streak. They already have enough accomplishments on their belt to do that. I mean, that's just my point of view.
And one thing I just want to mention, too. The WWE, they do a lot of good things at times, but here's my problem with the damn company. It's the follow-through. They will do something so good on one night, and then the follow-through, they'll just mess it up entirely. And then that's why not that I'm disagreeing with you, but that's why I feel no one should just end a streak. Because, okay, that person will beat The Undertaker, and then they will screw this person up down the line. So it's like...
Miss.
Oh, definitely. Big screw up there. Moving along.
Anyhow, Interfere 1, questions. There's 2. Why in your opinion is TNA signing all these stars and yet their title is owned by the old wrestlers from the Attitude Era? And the other one is, what do you think will happen now that Edge is injured and won't be competing until 2010 almost? He isn't competing until 2010, March of 2010.
The first half of the question, I'm not even going to get into it. No disrespect, but I mean, we've been hearing these same complaints about TNA for like the last several years now, and it's like, there's just no use getting into it. As far as Edge, you know, I'm not saying he's not a huge star, you know, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have that heat that he had a few years ago, you know what I mean?
No.
So, I mean, even then, I'm not saying he's not a big loss, but he's not that big of a loss as of right now. And, I mean, the way Chris Jericho is coming up is amazing. Chris Jericho was always amazing. But one thing that I feel he's really getting better at these last several years is the way he could advance a storyline. His overall character is getting a lot better. His overall acting abilities are a lot better. And they've really been showing in these last 2 and 3 years. They've really been getting better recently, and that's something people haven't really been bringing up.
Love this feud with Ray.
And with Michaels too, when.
But his matches with Ray were just outstanding.
Oh, of course, man.
Anyhow.
Michaels again.
I don't know if he wants to answer this one, because this is one that this was one that I wanted to make a video on. This is from the Sharpshooter 43. Do you think that Cody Rhodes will ever accomplish anything big in WWE? I've sat here time and time again defending the guy. Because I don't think he's as bad as people are making him out to be. They're saying he's horrible on the mic, he's got the shot blood eyes or the black eyes or some shit like that. He can't talk, he can't wrestle, all that. I don't see where these people are coming from. I seriously don't. I mean, I'm not going to say he's perfect. I'm not going to say he's the greatest ever. Here's what I'm going to say. Kid has potential. Anybody who's a second-generation star usually has a potential to become the best. I.e., The Rock, Randy Orton. I mean, there are other examples out there. Rocky Johnson. He was...
You kind of want to act like Brian Lawler never existed, though. But keep going on.
Yeah.
Oh crap! They can hear me. Oh.
But my point is, he's not that bad, and he has areas that he should fix. But at the same time,